Hello. Today we are doing core. So all you need is your body and a mat or a rug or somewhere that you feel comfortable lying down on your back. So that's all you need. You might want water nearby. We shouldn't be too long on this one. I'm setting my timer right now. So let's get started. Pretty easy peasy. We're just gonna come onto our back. So I roll down to my side and then come onto my back. That's just to protect my pelvic floor. This week, we're going to take the hands to the fronts of the thighs. We're just going to let those feet kind of relax. Hands to the fronts of the thighs. And you're going to press the hands into the thighs into the hands. Go ahead. And you're going to feel that your core contracts while you're doing this. So you can make it easier by letting up the pressure of the thighs into the hands and the hands into the thighs. Or you can make it harder by pressing more. And then I want you to think about doing one thing. And this is going to sound really sexual. Possibly make you blush, and it used to make me do that all the time too. But you're going to think about picking up a golf ball with your vagina and pulling it up and into you, okay? And you're just going to think about that. You're not going to worry about how you're breathing or anything else. And you're just going to pick up that golf ball. Good. We're going to cross our hands over to the opposite sides, and we're going to still think about picking up that golf ball. And we're going to again press the hands into the thighs and the thighs into the hands. And again, our feet are just relaxed. And we're just breathing and thinking about lifting that golf ball in. And this is just to prevent you from pressing down into your pelvic floor and pushing out through the pelvic floor, because we want to lift in the pelvic floor so that we don't pee our pants, we don't have prolapse. Good. We're going to release that. Take the hands to the fronts of the shins. And now you're going to pull the shins into the hands, kind of pulling away, still thinking about picking up that golf ball. Okay, so you're still pulling that in, lifting up through the pelvic floor to keep the pressure out of it. You can relax your toes, wiggle your toes, whatever, as long as you're pressing those shins into the hands. Then here we go. We're going hands to thighs one more time, just 15 seconds this time. Again, pick up that golf ball. And then I'm just going to get you to pull your toes back towards you too, and kind of lift your heels so that your shins are parallel to the floor. And you've got 3, 2, 1. Good. Maybe just give a little hug in. We're going to take those feet flat onto the ground. And we're going to work on our breathing for proper core bracing. Okay, so this is just teaching you the basics and the fundamentals so that when we get into our more advanced core exercises, that we're bracing properly. So the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to take an inhale and just everything relax. And then as you exhale, you're picking up that pelvic floor. So picking up that golf ball, bringing it up and in. The other thing you can think about is like that you had a straw there and you were trying to suck a smoothie up the straw. And that's going to make your whole pelvic floor lift. I'm showing my hands because you can't actually see what I'm doing. So you're lifting up through there. And then you're going to feel that your belly button lifts down and up. And you're going to feel yourself, you're going to focus on zipping, pretending you have a zipper right here. And you're going to zip it right up. So you're pulling everything in, or you could feel like you're tightening the corset. And that is a proper core brace. So we're just going to practice that core bracing while we breathe. So let's try it again. So nice deep inhale. And then as you exhale, pick it all up, zip it all up. And then take an inhale without letting it go. So you're going to notice that your inhale needs to come into your rib cage in order to keep that core contraction. And don't be alarmed if it feels a little bit bizarre right now and you're just not sure if you're doing it right. With the practice and just focusing your mind on making that movement, you'll get there. So let's do it one more like round of this. So inhale, exhale, bring it up and in, zip it up. Take a nice little breath in, keeping that core contraction. Exhale, still have that core contraction. Inhale, let it all go, release. Exhale, zip it up, pick it up, zip it up. Inhale without letting it go. Exhale, keep that contraction, maybe tighten it up a bit more. And inhale, Let it all go. Relax. Okay, so now you've kind of got that breathing, and I know that was a really quick lesson on it. But now we're going to go into a bit of like an ab exercise while we're doing that. So we're going to lift those feet up again so that our knees are over our hips. And we can keep our hands down to the side, or if you want to challenge yourself more, you bring those hands in front of the shoulders. We're going to take that inhale, exhale, zip it all up. We've got that contraction now. You should be able to feel it. And you've got two options. You can drop your toe down to the ground and bring it back up, or you can extend your leg out and bring it back up. Okay, so exhale, extend or drop. Inhale at center. Exhale, make sure you've got that contraction. You're dropping the toe or extending the leg, coming back up. Inhale, center. Exhale, extend. Inhale, center. Exhale, extend. So see how slow I'm going? You should be going just as slow as I am, because I'm inhaling at center, exhaling into the movement so that I keep that core contraction. Okay, so you can be dropping. That's a little bit easier than the full extension. Your hands can be down to your sides if that feels a little better for you. And if you want to pick it up, you're going to inhale, exhale. I don't know if you can hear my breathing. So I'm inhaling at center and then exhaling through both sides of the movement to pick up the pace. We got 10 more seconds here. I'm just showing both variations alternating. Last one. Good. Hug it in, roll it, shake it, rock it, whatever feels good for you. And then we're going to roll over and onto one side. And we're going to do our side plank dips. Same way. So hip over hip, knee over knee, elbow under shoulder. We're going to inhale, exhale, come up. I throw a whistling sound in just so you can hear my breath. So just moving through it. Again, you're picking up that pelvic floor. You're feeling that core contract. You may find that your hip wants to fall backwards. Try to counteract that by keeping that core engaged, hip bone towards rib cage. Couple more. 2. I guess I said a couple and I meant 4. And 1. If you're watching this video and counting, I don't really count. I kind of know when it feels like I've done enough. So I don't always count, especially when I'm talking. Okay, set up on the other side, elbow under shoulder, hip over hip, knee over knee. Inhale, let it relax. Exhale, pick it up and lift. Inhaling down, exhaling up. Again, lift up that pelvic floor. So you're lifting up that golf ball. You're contracting in, zipping up those abs. I'm going to show you how to do it on all fours next. But we're going to finish this out with 4 more. 3. Inhale down, exhale up and contract. Last one. Good. We're going to roll over and onto all fours, coming onto the hands and knees. Hands are under the shoulders, knees are kind of under the hips. We're going to do a bird dog, but I'm going to teach you to breathing before we go into the actual movement for the bird dog. So you're going to inhale, let your belly relax. Exhale, pick up that golf ball, zip up the core, extend the leg, come back in. Inhale at center. Try to keep that core contraction, but if you lose it, it's okay. Exhale, get it back and extend. Okay, so inhale at center, exhale, extend and bring it back in. Inhale at center, exhale, extend and bring it back in. So you're really not worried about how much movement you are getting here. Hold on, I had to get my contraction back there. Okay, so you're not worried about how high your leg goes. In fact, I'd rather see your toes like just graze the floor if it means that your hips stay stable and that your back stays strong, your core stays engaged. So the main thing you're worrying about is keeping that lifted core. And you can let go with one hand from the ground, and you can maybe even feel through your skin and your visceral fat to find that core contraction happening. So poke in your belly, feel it. You might have to poke through a little bit of fat. That's totally normal. That's fine. I am. And feel that core contraction underneath there. And it might feel pretty weak right now, depending on how many core exercises you do on a regular basis and how strong your core is, and maybe how far away from having babies you are. Because if you've recently had babies, it'll definitely be softer, or if you've had to have surgery, it'll definitely be softer. But that's why this is even more important, to really focus on that core, that lift in the pelvic floor. So lifting that golf ball in with each exhale, zippering it up. We got one more on each, or two more on this side, and then one more on the other side. Good. We're just gonna hold at center. We've got one last exercise. It's beast plank, and this one teaches you that you have to breathe into your rib cage when you're holding that brace. So we're gonna let it all relax, and then exhale. Pick up that golf ball or suck up that straw. Lift it in, zip it up. Lift your knees just a little bit off of the mat, pressing through your hands, keeping that gaze neutral. And you're noticing that your core is going to shake a little bit here. You might let go easily. If you let go, just come down, regain that core contraction, come on back up. And you really have to think about keeping that zipper zipped up. That golf ball coming up and in, that's all you should be thinking about. And your breath will come however your breath has to come. So some of us will breathe more into our lungs, some of us will breathe more into our rib cage, and some of us will be able to get like a 360 where it breathes more into our back. That's kind of ideal, but not necessarily going to happen. Okay, 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Just sit it back into a child's pose. Maybe come up and roll at those hips. Wiggle it side to side. Drop your belly. Arch your back. Okay, so that was a pretty simple start to the core workout. It's going to get harder the next time you do core with us. I would encourage you to practice that breathing technique where you're picking up the golf ball, zipping up through the belly whenever you think of it. So it doesn't have to be a strategic workout that you're doing. It can be you're driving and every time you stop at a stop sign or a stoplight, you pick up the golf ball. So it's not a Kegel exercise, because Kegels just teach you to squeeze. I wonder if I can give you a visual here. So Kegels just teach you to squeeze, right? Whereas what I'm encouraging you to do is pick up a golf ball and suck it up in. So that's a very basic kind of visual, but you're picking that golf ball up and pulling it in. So you're lifting up instead of just squeezing shut. Okay, lift it up. So hopefully that kind of helps you. I encourage you to practice it if you listen to this or you did this and you're like, what? I've gotten really comfortable talking about this type of thing, and I've had very powerful shifts in what's been going on for me, and I have the training with it. So please reach out to me, and I'm happy to give you like a few other tips if you just can't figure that out, or whatever I can. I do get more in depth into this with my actual coaching program, so that could be an option for you too, but I don't even want to go there with you right now. I just want you to be encouraged to lift up that pelvic floor. Okay? Have a great day. Thanks for joining me.